Welcome to another episode of Learning How to Use the Word Online. In today's video, we'll be seeing how to format a paragraph and also we'll be learning about how to use the styles which are available in Word effectively. To start with, we can either open the previously created document called exercise 1, or what we can do is like we can create a new document. So let us start with that. Okay, let us start with opening office.com as we have learned earlier. And if you open office.com, like you will be able to see all the recent documents what you have created. So we have created exercise 1 earlier. So let us open that particular document. You can even create a new document. Doesn't matter because the exercise 1 is a blank document. So I have opened that exercise 1 document and we are going to learn about paragraph. So to make the things easier, what all I'm going to do is copy some text which is already available with me. I copied some text, and if you actually look at this particular text, like it is having two paragraphs and one line which appears to be a heading. Okay, let us talk about how to format the heading and how to format the paragraph one by one. Okay, first let us learn how to format the paragraph. So to format the paragraph is left aligned, and you may be interested in formatting it as justified or right aligned or whatever it may be. To enable that particular feature, Word is having multiple options. Open the paragraph section of the menu. You will see on the bottom side there is something called left align, right align, align center, align right, and justify. Depending upon how you want the sentences in your paragraph to be formatted, you can choose. If I select the justify center, it will appear like all the sentences in your paragraph will be center aligned. And similarly, if I press the right align, everything will be right. You go to the right, and the best option what a professional document may look like is to make it justified. And if you press this justified, all the sentences in your paragraph will be having equal margin both on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. Okay. Now that the paragraph is justified and looking better than before, one of the thing what I noticed is like all the lines are narrowly spaced. I don't like it. I want the lines to be having more spaces between each line so that it is more readable to it. So the next option we are going to learn is line spacing. The line spacing has multiple options, but for now, let us look at how to increase the spaces between each line. So you can choose 1.5, for example. Now, if you see, there more gap are created between each lines. Now, there are two paragraphs. The first paragraph, it is very hard to find the difference between the first paragraph and the next paragraph because there is no space between the first paragraph and the next paragraph. So, the option what we have in the line spacing is just go there and add spaces after paragraph. So, now a space is created between one paragraph and the other paragraph. Just for the sake of readability, let us make the next paragraph also having the same line space. We can create formatting for one paragraph and copy the same to rest of the document. We'll learn about it later when we are talking about the styles and using the format painter feature. So now that we have created two paragraph of text with 1.5 points of line spacing between each lines, and there is a space between one paragraph and the next paragraph. The next thing what we are going to learn is about the indentation of the paragraph. While I personally create all the documents with starting off all the paragraph with a fully justified indentation, there are few people who will be having some space or a tab as the first in the first line of the paragraph. And to make it, yeah, a word has given an option for that also. For that, just keep your cursor on any part of your paragraph and go to the paragraph section and go to the special indent icon. In that, if you just go to if you select the first line as indented, so the document will appear with the first line alone is tabbed out with one tab. and rest of the thing are justified. It can be either justified or it can be left aligned, whatever way you want. Similarly, there are few books I have noticed where only the first line will start from the first character of the page at the zero margin of the page, and remaining part of the paragraph will be having some indentation. So you can do that by selecting a hanging indentation. So this way it appears. If you don't want and you want it to be justified, all you need to do is just go there and press none. So it will go back to that. Now let us quickly have a look at how to create a border for your paragraph. Okay. So I want to create a border for this paragraph, and I want to configure the thickness of the lines and everything. I just go there and go to the paragraph and select the border option. So now if I click this outside border, it creates one line around my paragraph. If can I customize these particular lines, the thickness of the line, the color of the line? Yeah, of course you can do that. You just go to the border option again. If you want to increase the weight or the thickness of the line, go there and select it. And if you want the color of this line to be changed to some other color, I like blue. So let me select blue. And I don't want a continuous border. I want a dotted line border or any other format of the border. So all I can do, I can go to the style and select dashed. So now it looks better. Now let us remove this border or make it a simple one line border, a thin line border. And now what I want is to have a background color for this particular paragraph which is inside the box. So what I'm going to do is go there and select the paint paragraph shading option and select a color, a pink, for example. Now, okay, now if you actually look at, like, there is a lot of gap between the line, the border line, as well as the color inside the paragraph text. So this space is called a padding. So how to adjust the padding? You go to the border option once again, go to the padding and make it 0. Now there is no space between your borderline and the text inside the paragraph, and the color is looking complete. But it normally doesn't look good, so it is always better to have some padding. So let us add some padding again. Let me put 3 points. I think it looks much better. Now let us learn about how to arrange a paragraph with a bulleted list or a numbered list. So for that, I have typed some 3 points. The benefits of Word Online are: it is free to use, share the document with your team members, and store it in OneDrive. Now, what I want is that these 3 sentences, I want it as a bulleted text. Okay, so it's very easy. So there are 2 ways you can do. First, you type the points and then just go to the paragraph and make it as a bulleted list. Or if you want to add few more items, you can simply go to the enter the carriage return, and you can type benefit 3, benefit 4. Okay, now now the bullets are coming in as a dark black dots. You can change this style also. Go to the bullets and you have all these icons available for you to change. Suppose if I want to change it as a tick mark, I just select it. If I don't want the tick mark but I want a squared box, I can make it. Anything you want, you can simply change it. Now, this is a bulleted list. What if I want it as a numbered item? So I have the next icon available for making it as a numbered item. If you click on it, there are so many varieties of options available for you to make it as a numbered item, whether it's a Roman letter 1, 2, 3, or ABC, or 1, 2, 3, etc. Now let us choose 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now I have made a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if we have to add the sixth item? Whether should I enter the number on my own? No. Just enter the carriage return. Word will create the next sequential number automatically for you. I type it as benefit 5. So let me check. I'm bad with typing. So let us see. Like if I have to change this style from the numeric number to some other format, go there, select, and change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will create automatically. Now let us see how we can create a multi-level list. For example, I have, let me group it something like this. Benefits group 1, and this is benefits group 2. So if I'm making it as a multi-level list, what all I need to do is just go there and select as multi-level list. And if you want this to be 2.1.1, just tab it out. Next one is 1.2. Next is 1.3. So if you might have noticed the next line is automatically becoming 2. Okay. If I tab it out, it becomes 2.1, 2.2, and it is 3. And if I want to add 3.1, enter and then tab it out. 3.1. So it's so simple. So you can go to multiple levels also. If I want 2.1.1, go there and type some group. Like this, it can go to multiple level, and you can customize this also by just going there, and instead of 1.1, 1.2, you can make it as 1.3, and if you tab out, it becomes a multiple level of group it goes through. Yet another important feature of Word or any other word processing software is tab. Okay. So we will talk about the tab and how to set up the tab stops and how to use the rulers and other thing in the coming video. But to just give an introduction about how the tab works, you can go if you press the tab button on your keyboard, it automatically goes and goes to half an inch. I mean, in this the default setting is half an inch. It goes as tab. So how do I say that it is going half an inch? By looking at this called ruler. So the ruler is something like if you want to view the ruler, just go to the view and press the ruler. And if you don't want to view the ruler, just go to the view and press ruler again. It will go. But it is always better to keep the ruler in on position to know how your document is getting formatted. So we will, as I said, we will talk about how to set the tab stops and how to use the tabs efficiently in a separate video tomorrow. Let us see a few more advanced formatting options. If you go to the paragraph and go to the line spacing and go below, you see something called line spacing options. So it gives you more ways for you to control the way at which your document looks like. If you look at this, you have multiple grouping: the general, the indentation, the spacing, and the pagination. Let me just keep it moved over here. So alignment we already know because we have a separate button already available. So you can make it as left, center, right, and justified. And in the indentation, few of the indentation, we already have a command button in the menu. You might have noticed. So the before text and after text, there are these two we haven't seen. Suppose if I put the before text as let me make it 3 centimeters and see that. So this entire paragraph, this is what is where the cursor was. This entire paragraph is shifted to the right, by 3 centimeters what we have defined. And similarly, if we go there and let me remove it by, and if after text, if I make it as 2 centimeters, on the right side you see a margin has been created. Okay, let me remove that. So the special, we already have a button over there, so we can align the first line or make it as hanging. So for example, let us make it a hanging, and you can define by how many centimeters you want the text to be hanging. That is, the first line will be starting from the zero character, and the consequent lines in the paragraph will be aligned to the right by whatever space we are saying. I type it as 3 centimeter, for example. Let us have it. So you see that the first line is normal, and the consequent lines are shifted by 3 centimeters or whatever the value we have defined. Next, let us talk about the spacing section. So the spacing means like between the two paragraphs, if you want to define how much of space is required, then this is the area where which you need to use to configure that. So if you say before some 20 points, then it means that before a paragraph is starting, word will allow 20 point space above that. And similarly, if you say after 30 points, I'm putting huge value so that we can find the difference between that. So then what it will do, once a paragraph is completed, it will leave 30 point space before the next paragraph is going to start. Okay. So I made it as okay. So I think this is the paragraph which I have used. Let's configure it again to make it more clear. Let me go to the line spacing, and I say before I want 50 points, and after I need 50 points. Okay, now if you actually look at this, between with the desktop version and yet another benefit, these two lines, there are some space, and like that, like between the mobile device by installing and the benefit of Word, there are more space because that is what we have designed. Now we are setting both the things as 50 points each. Let's see what happens. Nothing has happened, right? So why? That is because if we go to the line spacing, there is a checkbox which says that don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. So let me remove it. And once again, let me create 50 points each and say, okay, now you see it has created the space. But unfortunately, I was in the wrong place. Let me create it once again. Points to 50 points. Yes, it has created now. Similar lines, you can control the line spacing also. You can make it a single 1.5 lines, double at least, so at least 12 points, or it can be multiple. You can define all these parameters and you can test it on your own. So regarding the pagination, we will cover it along because it needs a lot of document to be typed as a sample for us to explain it in detail. We will cover this particular thing along with styles in another video, because styles also is one of the very useful feature. We'll cover a little bit more in the next video along with other features of Word. Thank you. Thanks for watching.